It was 3 in the morning. A darkness had fallen over New York, swallowing even the city's endless energy. Street lamps cast faint yellow patches onto the cold concrete surface. David lay on his back in bed, his eyes fixed on the dim, cracked patterns on the ceiling. For 7 years not a single night had passed since he lost his wife Mary and daughter Lily in that car accident that he had slept soundly. Every night the same movie played in the dark corners of his mind. It was his endless reckoning with his conscience. If only I hadn't been in such a hurry that day. If only I had taken Mary's whispered "Don't go" that morning seriously. Insomnia was no longer just a condition. It had become an inseparable part of David's identity. With each passing year, the weight of his grief grew heavier, and the emptiness in his home grew larger. The last toy Lily had left behind sat on the chair where he sat, and Mary's favorite mug sat untouched in the kitchen, waiting for years. As David drowned in these gloomy thoughts, the only thing breaking the room's silence was the faint vibration of his phone on the nightstand. He looked at the screen. It was 3:05. The incoming call was from a private number. David wasn't surprised to receive a call from an unknown number at this hour. He was sure it was one of his friend's pranks. For a moment he considered not answering, but that indescribable, illogical compulsion inside him pushed his finger to the answer button. When he put the phone to his ear, there was no sound on the other end. Just a faint, intermittent crackling. Static, a deep hum. It was like an ocean floor connection. David was surprised. This was different from the previous pranks. Holding his breath, he tried to make sense of the crackling. He waited. Sometimes waiting is the greatest torture. Just as he was about to hang up, a faint, fragile, and frighteningly familiar voice filtered through the static. The tone of the voice squeezed David's heart like an icy hand. "Daddy." All the blood drained from David's body. His skin turned to ice. His hand trembled so much the phone nearly fell to the floor. That voice belonged to Lily. He would recognize that voice among thousands. Logic screamed that this voice was a recording, an illusion, a joke. But his fatherly instincts pushed logic aside. His eyes filled with tears, his voice trembled, almost turning into a plea. "Lily? My dear daughter, is that you?" The answer was clearer than before, but more painful. "Dad, you have to find me." As soon as the sentence ended, the voice cut off with a crackle. The screen was blank, displaying only the words, "Call ended." David jumped out of bed. He ran to the bathroom and splashed cold water on his face. This was not a nightmare, not a hallucination. It was reality's cruel and illogical invitation. Not knowing what to do, he walked to the window and pressed his forehead against the cold glass. His eyes fell on the park across the way. In the children's park on the swing, a faint light flickered rhythmically. He paused for a moment. This couldn't be a coincidence. It was as if someone knew David would be awake at this hour, would receive this call, and would look out of this very window. David took an old, thick coat out of his closet. With every movement, he felt his body tense up. He dressed slowly and opened the door. When he reached the park, he approached cautiously. He looked at every corner, every shadow. There was no sound from anyone. He saw a small white flashlight lying on the ground, right under the light, beneath the swing. He picked up the flashlight. He turned the light toward the sandpit. There were no marks on the sand except for shoe prints. But at the edge of the sandpit there was a small, conspicuous mound that looked freshly dug. David bent down and began to dig at the soil with his hands. Soon a cold metal object touched his palm. A small, rusty toy car. Lily's favorite, red car with loose wheels. David felt his sobs catching his throat. Under the car he found a crumpled, folded piece of paper. He opened it. There was only one word written on it, "Grandfather." This was less of a clue and more of a cruel joke. 3 members of his family had died. Suddenly a loud rustling sound coming from behind him, from among the dry leaves, froze David's blood. He quickly turned around. There was no one there, but David was definitely being watched. David took the toy car and the note and hurried back home. He placed them on the table. Grandfather. That name reminded him of the story Mary always told Lily, about how her grandfather had hidden a little secret inside Lily's favorite toy car. David made a decision right then. No matter what lay at the end of this trail, he would follow Lily's last clue. He removed the loose wheel from the car. Inside there was another small piece of paper rolled up. He unfolded the note.
Dear
Lily,
I've kept a big secret inside. If you find this note, know that you're in danger. They will try to get to you. Follow the clues I've left for you. First clue.
Your mother's favorite book. This note was definitely left by Grandfather before the accident, sensing the danger. David immediately rushed to Mary's bookcase. Among the dusty shelves he found that old, hardcover novel with Mary's name written in her handwriting, The Lost Shadow. He opened the cover. He flipped through the pages a bit, and on the first pages a highlighted sentence caught his attention. The truth is often found not where it is hidden, but where it is reflected. David swallowed. The place it reflected. David looked at the large, full-length mirror standing in the hall. Attached to the edge of the mirror was Lily's purple ribbon. He slowly pulled the ribbon. Behind it, almost invisible, a small silver key appeared, stuck to the edge of the mirror. The key belonged to the drawer Mary always kept locked. David inserted the key into the lock with trembling hands and turned it. Inside,